The new Clinton policy on Somalia is stay the course. U.S. troops will stay indefinitely.
Celebrity endorsements, the high-risk companies take when they reach for the stars.
And planted in front of the television, the government says we have a bumper crop of couch potatoes.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening. When President Bush sent U.S. troops to Somalia, he predicted they'd be home before he left office. Well, Mr. Bush left 7 months ago, but the troops are still there. And now the Clinton administration is saying they won't be coming home anytime soon. National security correspondent David Martin reports on the latest Clinton policy.
With 400 Army Rangers being flown into Somalia to reinforce the 4,000 American soldiers already there, Defense Secretary Aspen today tried to relieve doubts about the Clinton administration's policy by outlining the conditions that must be met before U.S. troops can be withdrawn.
For U.S. combat troops, I think there are 3 items on the checklist. First, the security issue in South Mogadishu must be settled.
Aspen didn't say it, but that means getting rid of Mohammed Aidid, the warlord said to be behind the attacks on American troops. Aidid must be killed, captured, chased out of town, or somehow convinced to change his ways.
Second, we must make real progress towards taking the heavy weapons out of the hands of the warlords.
Aidid is not the only warlord. There are others who may be even more of a threat. So far, they have not challenged the UN peacekeeping force, but that could change once they are told to give up their weapons.
Third, there must be credible police forces in at least the major population centers.
As many as 18,000 Somalis will have to be recruited, trained, equipped, and paid as police to take the place of the UN troops now patrolling the streets. But U.S. officials say this program is already 6 months behind schedule and running out of money. As long as the streets aren't safe, U.S. troops will be needed to perform basic tasks like providing fuel and water, which under normal conditions, civilians could do.
Secretary Aspen was careful not to predict how long all this might take. But Pentagon officials say they hope to pull combat troops out by this fall and the logistical forces shortly after the beginning of next year. They quickly add the pullout will be determined not by the calendar, but by events on the ground. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
This was the day Amy Beale was supposed to come home to the United States after 10 months of study in South Africa. Instead, people in both countries today are mourning and remembering Amy Beale, a victim of the racial intolerance in South Africa that she had been trying to heal. Correspondent Bill Whitaker has our report.
Friends who knew her and many others who just knew of her marched to the spot where 26-year-old American scholar Amy Beale was viciously slain, killed by a crowd of angry township blacks, killed, it seems, because she was white. Her murder stunned a nation almost numb to racial violence.
We are deeply concerned and shocked, disgusted by the senseless killing of Amy Beale.
And I want to say to people, and you killed your own sister. She was involved in our struggle.
Amy Beale was a Fulbright scholar from California with a deep affection for South Africa, a passion to aid its fledgling democracy. Her friends at Stanford University were at a loss.
She was fighting for them. She was part of their cause.
Her family says it highlights the tragedy of South African racism and the importance of Amy's work.
To be called a sister on the streets of South Africa, it's pretty amazing, and I'm really proud of that.
If the mob had taken 5 minutes to listen to Amy and talk to her, they never would have killed her.
Beale's slaying comes amid escalating racial violence in South Africa, much of it now aimed at whites. Some fear it could set back the cause of democracy. Others hope it might help.
Generate a debate among blacks as to what are appropriate means for the struggle at this time in history.
Her parents say they are not bitter.
We're at peace with Amy. We're at peace with ourselves. We're at peace with the people she was working with and trying to help.
Amy Beale was due to come home today. Now, instead of preparing for her homecoming, her family is preparing her funeral. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Newport Beach, California.
Government prosecutors in Los Angeles said today they will appeal. They will demand more jail time for the 2 police officers convicted of violating Rodney King's civil rights. There was criticism in some quarters when the judge sentenced them to 30 months. They could have received up to 10 years in prison.
Police sources in Los Angeles say the search of Michael Jackson's homes turned up no incriminating evidence of child abuse against him. And CBS News learned tonight the police are formally investigating whether Jackson was the target of an extortion attempt by the father of his accuser. No matter which way the legal case goes, there's the growing issue of celebrities as role models and high-paid pitchmen for products. Correspondent Giselle Fernandez has that story.
Back on stage in Bangkok, his first performance since allegations of child sexual abuse first surfaced, and Michael Jackson wasn't toning down his act. The superstar has not been charged with any crime, but the sex scandal is casting shadows not only on the pop singer's high-voltage celebrity, but on his endorsements as well.
The celebrity endorsement has always been a ticklish area for advertisers because you live by the celebrity, you die by the celebrity.
That means it's damage control time for Sony Corporation, which has a potential $1 billion partnership with Jackson. The company refused to comment.